Welcome back, LJL fans. We are here once again to go over briefly the previous game to see what happened in a tumultuous game 3, a bit of backwards and forwards. Now, Mary, you can start. What were your takeaways from this key victory for Burning Core?
Okay, do I have anything which is particularly... Hang on. No, I was going to have... Okay, well, first off, I think that really... Oh god, no! I was gonna have a voice mod thing, and look. I'm so disjointed. I don't even have a joke for this.
Just
normally
like that
I have
game,
a joke
to
for
be
this
honest.
stuff. Normally I have a joke for this, and I just don't. I like that. That was so alien to me in so many different ways. It's like there was a point where effectively I think Echo was saying, just don't go towards the Baron Hawks, and I know that there shouldn't have been any risk there because you have the Lee Sin. You have so many ways to secure that objective, but it is effectively toddler-proofing the rift now around that Baron pit, because the Hawks have shown that they are not clean around playing that around that objective. And we have seen some really good points from the Hawks and seen some dreadful points too. Now, I don't think this is like all doom and gloom in Hawks, but obviously something's not clicking in some of these big moments. And we know that there are a lot of big names on this team. We know that it's a best of 5. They have some extra time to stand up and be counted for. But this is getting very, very dangerous now. And these kinds of moments can really rock that momentum.
Absolutely. I can just double down on that because it is, even in the points where Burning Core are winning, it's very scatty, it's very messy. Kills are being found in return. It means we're seeing players emerge who we thought, especially after some of the opening segments of that game, we thought, okay, this player's set behind. This Gray specifically, after that first item as well, we weren't really a big fan of it. And we were like, okay, well, I don't know where his comeback point is, but then some really messy fights happen. He finds a couple of kills and suddenly you're faced with 3-item Graves. And then obviously we're thinking, well, it doesn't matter, they're on the Baron, but we were all the seed for another play was made and the still comes in and it's like, oh my god, okay, and then the game turns on its head, and it's what Naimira said. It's just clean play needs to be found at some point because scatty plays like this lead to this kind of thing.
Oh no, I found my joke. Stay the away from Baron.
All right, you punch Crow out of his chair. You got him. He's down. In order to indeed stay away from Baron, what are your recommendations? What would you like to see different from the Hawks after that disappointing defeat?
I feel like they had so much going for them, though. They had ways to have a winning side lane. You have a Rise. Like, I know it's Camille TF, but you can fight pretty evenly across the map with a lot of side lane stuff. I feel like they had a lot of things going for them. They have a stable bot lane. All of this points towards, hey, you know what? You can play through multiple modes of the map. And actually, they did do a better job of that than in game 2, where they thought, let's just team fight right down the center. Let's see what we can do. And do the whole flankant thing. You just don't flank and you just hope for the best. But this game, it felt like they had a better grasp of what they wanted to do on a larger macro sense. But even then, it's really difficult. Luckily, they have one more life, one more chance, and hopefully they can bring it around if they do once again kind of reassess how their composition is supposed to function on the map.
Yeah, let's hope.
We're gonna put Oak and Crow sort of in the hot seat for Burning Core instead. How do you secure that victory? How do you go forwards in this all-important game 4? Now that you're at match point, now that you've got 2 in a row, how do you close out this series?
Personally, I'll jump in the hot seat first because I'm thinking there is still a lot of space to be found for we're seeing a lot of mistakes coming up from Burning Core, even through their 2 victories now, and it's feels like Rayfarki is either being underutilized or not drafted through correctly. The latter half is really where I'm leaning towards. We saw in game 1 as well, we thought that the Ornn was fine in isolation and actually handled some of the fights very well. The play was very good, but I feel like we're misstepping a little bit in how he's being progressed through the game correctly. We saw a couple of times where basically he's playing in goal deficit. We all understand this player is of an excellent caliber. Burning Core, if they really want to achieve this, some cleaner play in the early game, stop these first bloods being giving over, and then combine that with maybe getting more pressure onto Rayfarki could really bring them into a clean win.
Yeah, definitely. Like I want them to have better early games, 100%. They need to get that together. We loved what we saw from Rayfarki in game 2. On that Gragas, even if he doesn't get the champion Gragas, give him something that allows him to have create his own agency, so to speak. The Camille was really I did like the Camille pick. I got a lot of split pushing done, but that wasn't until like later in the game, until after Hawks fumbled the bag and gave back a lot. So allowing him to get a split push going or be a active agent in the team earlier would be key, I would say.
And I think that's also very key looking forward to the next kind of matchups as well. Because if you make it forward from this best of 5, you've got to face Rascal Jessers. And I do think that Rayfarky has an X factor to say, you know what, I can be an individual carry. So I very much agree. I think you want to show some extra game time, get some extra ability for Rayfarky to take over games.
It's definitely an angle forwards for the Burning Core. With the sort of victories being swept from the jaws of the defeat, are there any moments you want to see that acceleration come through? Any key pickups, maybe in draft, maybe in the early moments of the game, a quick early rotation through mid? Anyone have any particular feelings on how Burning Core should get this one over with in swift fashion?
I think the TF struggled that game. I don't think we really saw Dice hitting those levels that we've seen them on beforehand, and other stuff that he's done so well on has been stuff like this Ari and the Rise, which has been taken away, the Ari, which has been banned away. So we're kind of looking at what else does he have to offer, and maybe there's an opportunity for you to leave the Ari open and look for a counter pick in there instead. Maybe look for the Rise, maybe look for the Vex even as a solution to some of the problems, get something more consistent, because as soon as this comes out, this could be important. Obviously, there is also the Victor as well, which I would love to see if we're able to pull out the hat, because we haven't seen it yet so far, and if it can be slotted into draft.
I was going to say, actually, the Victor might actually be quite valuable, because I feel like where Burning Core are really finding good victories is when Hawks are engaging into them, when they have some scaling options to you. We saw that with the Xayah when they picked that up. I think the Ziggs is also kind of like a safe scaling team fight pick. Victor does that pretty okay too. So I think it's an option on the table. See if the draft allows for it. Allow a peel back composition again, because the Hawks have felt like they have to engage onto you. You don't even need to put a carrot on the end of the stick. They're just going to do it.
Definitely just going to do it. I would love to see Dice actually play something more carry-esque. The Victor would be awesome to see if he could get that out. That'd be pretty dope to see for sure. But definitely want more proactivity from Burning Core and cleaner and proactive play, so they don't have these fiestas, for lack of a better term, for these games.
A little bit less fiesta, the prescription from our 3 analysts. We are just waiting on hearing about the start of the game. So to fill a little bit more time, never mind, I couldn't quite. We're still on analyst desk, so
we got time. We can still ruminate.
We got time to fill.
Okay, well, we've been talking a lot about this. We've been hearing a lot about this game, right? So I guess maybe it's better to start thinking about it a little bit wider from this too. We kind of said, Rascal Jess is coming up next as well. I mean, on the whole, lower bracket runs are very difficult to do, but they have occasionally happened. We've seen that, DFM, summer 2020, they made it from lower bracket up to the finals. They lost there in summer, but you can have shaky starts and build forward. So I suppose for me, what I'm looking for again is just see ready the ship and start laying some of those foundations to build on later into the tournament. Say, this might be a rough best of 5, but all we have to do is get through today. So I guess once again, it is kind of putting those spotlights onto those big players like Dasher, like Blank, like Rayfarky, and saying, just play out the game. Stand up for yourself and make sure that you're showing what you can show later on, and just drag your team over the finish line. Let's see what you can do.
Yeah, I think that can come in tangent with some of these other players that we're not seeing so much in the spotlight, who seem to be having middling to better performances. Like Yuhi and Marble, the big ones, where it's like, okay, these players, Marble from last split on the V3 Academy looks really, really good. Yuhi, maybe not having such a great last split, but has looked pretty good this series so far. If these AD picks can come in, maybe we can see a little bit more of a supportive play from this team in tandem with the highlight players, and that can bring them through to their victory.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking the same. I predicted a 5-game series, and the Hawks definitely have the ability to bring us to that. I would like to go back to sleep, in all honesty, but it's just up to them. The ball's in their court. They have to really bring the heat if they are going to get that victory cinched in. And Burning Core, they've been gifted another victory, so to speak, and they just have to not drop the ball considerably.
Talking of the ball moving across the court, we are ready to go to our casters. Game 4 is happening. Hello, Cat for Oak. We're going to say hi again to Echo and RMC as they take us through Game 4.
All right, thank you so much then for hi to the cat. Indeed, maybe that's the good luck chart that the Hawks need because they need something right now. They are on their last leg. If Burning Core takes this next game, they take the series and a historical moment for them as they move on into the playoffs, where they will be facing off against Rascal Jesters. But that being said, we did hear the analyst. That's right. We heard some things that the Hawks need to get done if they want to win this thing. RMC, can you just run me through that one more time? I got slow brain, bro. It goes in one ear, goes out the other. I scream at the screen. So for the others out here, and for me mainly, I'm just projecting. What does Hawks need to do to win this damn game?
Just play better, Fivehead. that seems to be the general consensus from the analyst desk, right? There's a lot of issues that they're having right now, and draft honestly isn't the biggest part of it, right? You heard that, okay, the comms are a bit messed up. Nymera was losing his mind over the way that they could not secure Baron with a Lee Sin on their team. And I kind of agree a little bit, right? Like, yeah, they had Ziggs, they had Graves, but you had Lee Sin. Come on, man. The early leads just aren't converting right now. And yeah, it's just everybody needs to step up that little bit more here, Echo. And for all that we're looking at Hawks to try and step up, you heard on the analyst desk how many statements, how many opinions they have on Burning Core either. Burning Core has not been playing clean this series, and holy crap, Echo, they still have not swapped sides. These teams have prepped one side for this series, and that's all they're doing right now. And for the Hawks here, we are seeing still fairly standard bans coming through. You know, the Jace that we saw last game, the Nautilus here, and the Tryndamere. So no change up there, and Burning Core have not unleashed the RE yet.
Yeah, they not only just picked one side, they wrote a script for the bans as well, because it is in the same bans for like the last 3 games. Yeah, the definition of insanity monologue inserted here. You got to do something different, Hawks, because it hasn't been working out. Okay, no, you could literally clip this. And this would, you could interchange this with game 1 or 2, and I would see no difference. We see once again Dasher's Rise is being locked in, and once again the Leona being locked in, and the Graves coming out from Flawless. They're really looking to just run it back.
Is this a salty run back for game 3 here? Because I mean, that's there's something. You know what? This is the LJL. Let's not get baited. It gets locked in, Echo.
Okay.
A big change up, and I like it because they desperately need something to change here. And one person we said has been underperforming has been Marble. Burning Core seem to have figured out how to utilize Yuhi with picks like the Xayah, like the Ziggs. Hawks have not had the same success. So instead of picking that Zeri, which really hasn't worked, instead of trying to steal away the Xayah, they've gone, you know what? We're just going to run Lucianami. We're going to try and smash this bot lane here. And if Blank can gank like he did last game, this just might work.
Yeah, just might indeed. However, that does give the opportunity for Yuhi to pick up that Xayah once again. We saw the amount of work he was able to do with it in game 2. So if he can repeat himself this time around, then Burning Core might just have a shot at securing themselves the next playoff game. We'll have to wait and see, though, as these final bans are rolling in. Once again, the Grag is coming out. No surprise, they're really just running the back with these bans. Gonna have to see what that last one is going to be. And as for Burning Core, who they want to take off the board here, quite curious if it's going to be the Hecarim once again. Oh, no, it's going to be Poppy. Don't want to see that ever again.
Yeah, they're just literally running back what we did last game. If we have an Orin ban right here, okay.
No.
What? No.
Wait, why are you wasting the ban, dude? Okay.
Dasher manhandled Dice that game. You do not need a Anticipate ban.
They do not want those gold cards. And I mean, I want to say understandable, but it really isn't. Like, it really wasn't understandable. But hey, it is what it is. Got to roll with it.
Okay.
We do see the Victor being locked in here for Dice in this mid lane. Marble actually gonna go ahead and pick up the Lee Sin here for the Blank. He's still hovering, still thinking about it. Ooh. Going to switch things up. The Hecarim was free this time, and so the Hecarim will be locked in.
Okay, I really like that change up here. I think Blank has had better games on the Hecarim. It scales much better, which is the Hawks' general play style here. But the Victor, let's go to that for a second, Echo, because on the desk, you heard Oak, you heard Nymera saying that they wanted to see the Victor. Well, congratulations, you've got it here. And Burning Core now do have a team fighting composition by and large with that Leona, with that Victor, with that Xayah. Okay, it's not the...
Oh.
Okay, I was gonna say it's not quite the Camille, but I think Irelia actually punishes harder.
I was gonna
earlier.
say, yeah, I was surprised didn't lock the Aurelia in, to be quite frank, but locking in the gameplay here. So regardless, maybe we see a little bit of barrel one-shotting action if he's able to get ahead. How are you feeling though with him going up against Gnar?
I actually am not a huge fan of Gangplank into Gnar because Gnar can often clear away those barrels fairly safely. So that's less than ideal. But when I'm looking at compositionally at what Burning Core have, I do actually really like the GP here if they can survive the early game. And so far, Hawks have not been able to close out any of their games early. And if it goes late, that GP scaling is going to be absolutely nuts. The poke damage to come through means that oftentimes Lucian and Nami might not even get to participate in the fight. One barrel late game will be 70% of their health bar right away. And even for the Rise here, we said it before, one of the ways you beat Rise is you outrange him. Now, in lane, that's not going to be the case because GP and Rise won't be matching up. But later on in some of those team fights, if you ever see a Realm Warp coming through, just start clustering barrels right around there. And if Rise comes in, he gets a nice surprise.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, we've kind of reached a phase where it's like you don't really want to worry about the laning phase as much anyways, because we've seen all three of the, except for game 2, but game 1 and game 3 have gone so incredibly long, and it's really come down to who's got these scaling champions and who can find these openings. And so it's like, honestly, I would dare I say that both of the all the solo laners on both of these teams are fairly equally matched here, and it's like it's really only come down to kind of that the off gank that's able to come through from Flawless or Blank. And speaking of ganks, do you think we're going to see Flawless in the mid lane for once in this game?
I'm actually surprised we haven't seen Flawless playing for DICE because
that's
generally
kind
speaking,
of
the
their
regular
thing.
season, it was the Flawless DICE duo, right? Like you imported them together from the same team. You brought them in from Korea, and they were supposed to be that jungle mid connection. And the fact that it hasn't happened shocks me more, and I would love to see it. I do think there's a lot of potential here, especially Victor into Rise. Victor can get a lot of poke down, and if Rise is kind of low, Flawless show up, it's a nice easy kill. Both of you have more than enough damage to burst them down.
Yeah, definitely already looking for something aggressive here. Rhino leading the charge. Ray Farkey trying to find something on Kinatsu here. Actually going to look to run him down, doing a whole lot of damage. And Blank, you got to get in there. You got to stop watching, brother. But he is going to bait him in. Actually going to get the flash out. This is just the start. We are 1 minute in, ladies and gentlemen, and this is already happening.
Well, if the analysts just want to see cleaner gameplay in preparation for Roscoe Jesters, I've just got to say, hey, it's April 1st, guys. It ain't happening. April Fools. I mean, Ray Farkey was dominating the 1v1. You don't need to chase all the way in. From what was a winning position, Ray Farkey now has Flash expended. And because of having to blow Flash here, Ray Farkey is very vulnerable. I want to see Blank look to punish this top side here, and I don't think Flawless is going to reinforce him anytime soon, so there is a window of opportunity for the Hawks.
Yeah, Blank did burn his ghost, so that's going to be down for a minute. Obviously not as long as the flash itself, so like you were saying, going to be interesting to see if he does end up going to that top lane to abuse that. And I mean, we're already seeing those preemptive wards coming down because Ray Farkey knows, damn, I screwed up hard. I got to make sure that I don't pay the price for that. So the wards are coming down. Meanwhile, this bot lane, just a little bit of farming going down this time around. Definitely going to be a lot harder going into Rhino and Marble with such a strong combo that the Lucian Nami is.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that for Burning Core right now, going even in lane is winning in lane because they have better skillings in most of the lanes, especially this bot side where the Lucian Nami wants to take over early here. You're expected to lose health. You're expected to lose a little bit of CS. Flawless, unfortunately, will just barely get spotted by that ward there, but Flawless gets to see it, so Flawless isn't going to waste time, just going to go right back to power farming, to clearing. And Hecarim Graves, both these junglers, really good at just power farming.
Yeah, definitely. So overall, get spotted out here. It's just a little more farming going down, pretty even at the moment. It's like we were saying right before, Flawless wants to kind of run this power farming phase where he just really doesn't want to be bothered with ganks. Is about to be bothered by Blank, who's waiting for him in the bush. I don't know if Flawless knows he doesn't. He's actually grabbing that. Meanwhile, this ball and the ignite coming on Yuhi, trying to find something. Two fights going on at once. Nothing quite going to come out of it though for that ignite on Yuhi. That will be ignite down, and Blank has decided to just back off for now. So overall, just a bit of a scuffle. Not much coming out of it.
Ooh, Flawless actually skirted the vision from that scuttle right now. I think he's waiting for the quick draw to come back up here to try and punish Black. I don't know if this is the right call, though. You can see that the lanes for Hawks are all in pretty good space to respond. They saw him.
Oh, they definitely did see him. Blank waiting to hit that smite button, but is gonna get outsmited once again. Flawless is like, we've already settled this last game, bro. You don't win these. And he gets the red buff, just steals it. No respect. Yuhi is a bit low, so they can't quite find anything just yet. The sword will go down as well, spotting him out. And so overall, not necessarily any time wasted, but just nothing kind of being gained from just chilling in the bush there. Yuhi, I gotta say, needs to be incredibly careful. Dude, Flawless has no respect. He does not care. Flawless is just like, this is my jungle now. You live in my world. We are not the same. He's just waiting in the bush. He does not care. Like I was going to say, though,
Interrupting it.
Flawless, come on. Just let the poor boy go back to base, please. Fujimoto might just pay the price. There actually needs to flash heal to get out of that one alive. I was going to say, I thought Yuhi would be the one taken low, but it ends up being Fujimoto instead. Top lane is just trading and farming, the usual, really. Nothing too much going down there.
Yeah, I was actually wondering, what does it mean that both these junglers are stuck bot side for so long here? And I was thinking, well, it might be bad for Ray Farkey. He might get punished a little bit by this Gnar early, but no, not at all. Ray Farkey's been doing amazingly, and Flawless has no shield, still not dead.
I don't know if those are the ones you take it as much as you can. Actually baiting Marble in. First blood will go down, but they will find the kill. So overall, they will go 1-for-1. Marble will gain slightly more gold, though, for getting that first blood.
Okay, but come on, Flawless needs to stop hanging down here. The cost now is not just giving first blood or baiting first blood here, but you're going to start losing your jungle as well, because Blank has actually recalled here and now has started to go and take away those Raptors looking for that Scuttle. And before this, I had thought that Flawless was winning out because Scuttle is no longer really worth fighting over. Its experience in gold got heavily reduced there, and taking the red buff was significantly more important for Flawless. So great trade there, but then that's all been squandered now. And it's a question of, okay, was it worth trying to get that kill from that bot side and punishing Marble? Because Marble is going to come right back and he's still going to be strong. And Marble did get that first blood. And I feel like that gold offsets any CS he might have missed.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a question of whether or not it was worth it. And now Flawless is going to have to return to a slightly famished jungle. His Raptors were taken, so he's not going to have as much farm there. We do see Dragon up once again is being put on the back burner per usual. Both teams not really looking to grab it just yet. Ray Farkey getting hit with the ultimate, getting hit with a whole lot. Can he find damage in return? He will indeed. But Kinatsu is done taking the abuse, throwing everything he's got at him, doing quite a bit of damage. Ray Farkey has to just chill behind the safety of his barrels.
Yeah, Ray Farkey does still have corrupting pots though, so will be able to sustain right back up here. His low health is a little bit deceptive unless we do see Blank gank that top side anytime soon, but probably not, because Blank is bot side currently, wants to secure that dragon, and with the priority they have here in this bot lane as well, it shouldn't be difficult. Mid lane Dasher's been doing a great job, actually up CS as well, about a wave and a half onto Dice. So it feels like the bot side of the map fully belongs to the Hawks, and we kind of did expect it from the draft.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, it's just being shoved in. Not much they can do at the moment, with Flawless slowly pathing their way down. However, maybe Fujimoto will look to make something happen, but needs to be careful that they don't get spotted out. There is a control ward in that river bush, so the moment he enters that, will get spotted out. Maybe just goes for the dragon sneak if they can somehow realize that Blank is in that top jungle. Gonna have to wait and see though. They have an idea. Gonna drop those words. Marble and Rhino gonna make it seem like they have gone back. That might just be the move. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, if bot side signaling that, hey, they've recalled, if mid lane signaling, hey, they've recalled here, there is an opportunity. But Flawless, he's really just waiting around a long time. They're going for it now, but Featherstorm was expended.
Okay, Yui is going to be expended there. Nothing quite going to come out of it. We see the culling drop from Marble as well. A bit of damage coming out, but once again, nothing coming out of it. And meanwhile, Blank is like, I mean, okay, Flawless, you can chill bot lane again. I'll go ahead and just grab this Rift Herald real quick.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have vision on Flawless. I don't think Flawless showed at all there. But yeah, sure, Blank's going to go for that Herald, and Flawless actually had to peel off. Now, that's a problem because Dasher moving out of mid lane, and Dice has no TP.
Yep, Rhina's here as well. Isn't quite level 6 though yet. They'd love that title away, but he just gets absolutely taken out, and that's exactly the pick that they need. Collateral damage coming out with the Realm Orb. Gonna try and get Flawless here, running him around. They've got him boxing, but a very nice flash. You just got outplayed, big brain outsmarted. Goodbye, good night, and Blank won't quite be able to get that kill. Meanwhile, though, Fujimoto does end up going down into the hands of Dasher.
And Echo, we had questions of whether this Lucian Nami lane would be able to take off. After all, Marble has not been having a good series of it, but it's working right now. The damage it's pumping out is worth it. That control over the bot side paying dividends, and Flawless is lucky to get out alive here. Should have dropped dead if Dice didn't manage to get there. It's a rough early game for Burning Core. Not the worst we've seen, but not how we'd like to see it start. And really, this entire fight just Burning Core kind of being a little bit too greedy considering the entire situation there. And I want to highlight again that Flawless had originally started up that dragon once already before and had to peel off, which is why he was kind of low, and they weren't able to just say turn on that pincer, which wasn't quite fully together. Normally you can just kind of turn around, punish the one, and get out that way. Couldn't do it that time, and everybody just got punished on the side of Burning Core for it.
Yeah, I also feel like Burning Core is kind of feeling a little stupid right now that they baited out the first blood into the hands of Marble, because you saw it. He is hitting like a truck right now. He is not a force to be reckoned with. He's hurting pretty bad, as we saw just a couple of auto attacks can get champs like, for example, Yuhi down to like a good 3/4 of their health, and that's from like just 2 auto attacks of like a passive. So definitely something that they're gonna have to watch out for. Is only gonna be stronger with those empowering effects that come out from Rhina at a constant rate. And now that Rhina has hit level 6 as well, that tidal wave is gonna open up so many more opportunities, whether it's just baiting out Yuhi's ultimate or even setting up some crazy plays.
And I want to just highlight that's before the Mythics coming through as well here. Once Mythic starts to come through, Marble is going to hit even harder. And Yuhi having to burn that Featherstorm. These ultimate cooldowns are vastly different. The Featherstorm is over 2 minutes, whereas the Lucian ultimate there will be up a lot sooner. You can throw 2 of those ultimates for every one of Yuhi's.
Yeah, and so that's what we're exactly talking about, right? Just baiting those out, and that's a huge part of Yuhi's kit down. That amount of self-peel is so vital to the kit, but overall, let's see if they can find something here. Zenith Blade over the wall now would definitely be the time, but gonna opt not to instead. Don't want to risk it. And so overall, just gonna let Blank do his thing, clearing out this jungle here. Flawless has been spotted out once again. He's just chilling in his bot lane. I feel like HAWKS is like, dude, what does he want here? Like, go away, bro. Like, leave me alone, please.
I don't know if it's the HAWKS saying that or if Burning Core saying that right now. Like, Black, what are you doing in here? Get out, man, please. Will get spotted on the blue trinket, and they will finally chase Blank out here. But they're actually going to drop the Herald here. I think it was starting to run a little bit low on time, so they're just going to brute force this one here.
Wow, whole lot of damage coming out. Flawless is going to get hit by the Rift Trail. Overall, going to crash in, give him a couple of plays, and that's about all it's going to be able to do.
Okay, so for Burning Core right now, it's not looking great, but it's not the worst case scenario so far. They've been able to deny Blank a lot of his plays, and as I say that, though, here's
oh my
Blank.
god, they're denying Ray Farky a chance at life as well. Gets hit by Kinatsu's ultimate, thrown into the wall. Blank's there as well with the onslaught of shadows, and it's just lights out for Ray Farky.
Yeah, so if Blank doesn't gank, Burning Core are actually okay. They are still scaling. But if Blank starts playing proactively like that and looking for these dives into turret, he can do that in any lane. It's not just Ray Farky now. Dice is going to have the same problem. Yuhi and Fujimoto as well, especially whenever Featherstorm is down. So the ball right now is well and truly in the HAWKS court to try and continue pressing this lead. They've done a great job in the early game here. Can they keep it up? And for Burning Core, I don't know that they can be proactive. Fujimoto right now can't do anything into Rhina with that tidal wave available, and Flawless doesn't have the lane assist he did last time. Dice has not been able to land any stuns onto Dasher, who's been slowed up in the gravity field, but no stun, no setup for Flawless. And Ray Farky right now is just desperately trying to scale up. GP doesn't have any inherent hard CC either, so Flawless can't look for there. You're just kind of power farming in all lanes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But at the same time, I feel like this is something we've been seeing on repeat these last couple of games, right? Ooh, do you see Flash coming out here actually from Dasher trying to find something? Nothing quite gonna come out of it. Flash from Dice as well. Like I was saying, this is something that we've been seeing over and over, where it's like you're in this game state where things are looking absolutely terrible for Burning Core, and then they manage somehow to find that one little opening that gives them just the door of opportunity to get back into the game. So once again, I will say probably not the best strategy to always rely on them kind of presenting you with an opportunity, but it seems to be working for Burning Core. So we're going to have to wait and see if that is the route they decide to take. But for right now, it's looking like they're going to opt to go ahead and contest this dragon. We do see the ultimate coming in. The tidal wave, though, you didn't clear the beach. You might pay the price, but they were able to spook them off blank, taking incredibly low. That Chaos Storm just falling around, wreaking a whole lot of havoc, but the dragon did reset, so it's going to give him a little bit of time. But it's going to be an easy job for Flawless. And just like that, that's what I'm talking about. It's like literally just now, every single fight we've seen has been going over in Hawks' favor. Then they find this one fight, and that I feel like this might just be the start.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that the Hawks didn't try and fight that. I mean, the culling was available, wasn't paired with that tidal wave whatsoever here. And Blank, you already lost the fight. Do you really still want to come back into this?
Yeah. No.
Okay, yes, he does.
I guess so. And just like, well, so much for them coming back in this game. Then that happens, and everything's looking grim once again. Blank is looking to take out the trash here. He's got some business to attend to. He ain't playing nice.
Why Echo did they not just do that with the dragon initially? I'm very, very confused. And I just realized as well that
Ray Farky. Ooh, the flash coming over Ray Farky. He's trying to juke him around the turret. Please don't follow him. Please do not follow him, Ray Farky. Ray Farky like looked at him like, yo, you want to throw some hands? Then he looked at his health bar. He's like, never mind. I'm gonna walk over here.
Yeah, you don't want those hands. But okay, Flawless rushed an Umbral Glaive instead of any Mythic here. I just realized that when I saw how quickly he got popped by Blank. And yeah, I don't think that Hawks realized that either initially, which is why they were like, okay, Graves built first item, guys, we have to watch out. Now they realize it's Umbral Glaive Graves. You can punish this. And for Burning Core, I do not like it. You have so much scaling on your team. You needed a bridge, and Flawless, the Graves, was supposed to be that bridge with that Umbral Glaive. No, you're not now. You can't do anything, and now you got Dragon, congrats, but you're losing out kills everywhere. You're about to lose Herald, and with this Herald, you're probably going to lose First Brick as well. Yeah,
absolutely. Not only that, like, they set up this bot lane, but it's in such an oppressive way that surely they were like, okay, you know, bot lane odds are Yuhi's going to take quite a while to scale. So it's really going to come down to Flawless here to be this sort of more range, kind of consistent damage coming out. Speaking of consistent damage, so much damage coming out. Ray Farky, nothing he can do. You can heal as much as you want, but it does not matter. And he is going to go down.
Cannon Barrage just came off cooldown as well. I think it was up. Maybe they could have found Blank potentially with a bit of a slow, but doesn't come through. Herald dropped as well. It's going to be First Brick, nice and easy. And the Hawks, we said that it's up to them. Balls in their court to accelerate the game. They're doing it flawlessly right now, which is ironic considering they've got Blank.
Indeed. We do see he grabbing himself a turret there once again, kind of trying to follow that last game footsteps where he is 0-1-1 at the moment, and Rift Herald is just wreaking havoc at the moment. Shelly's gonna shut her down because she is just destroying turrets left and right. Tier 2 in this top lane is going to go down as well, and things once again just are not looking good for Burning Core.
No, 4,000 gold lead now in favor of the Hawks. And I feel like everything's going well for the Echo so far because Baron's not on the map. And this is, you know, in the other games, I know Nymera said just stop going to the bloody to the Baron there. But in the other games, I think they had to. Their leads weren't big enough. This time, I think they can actually close this game out without ever looking at Baron. But they do have to be careful. I mean, Marble Rhina, they're strong now, but they will start to fall off soon enough. And Kinatsu has not been having the best time of it against Ray Farky. He has been doing okay, but not dominant.
Yep, and he's about to have a pretty bad time if you can't escape. Here, ultimate coming out, but too much
Oh.
CC for him to handle.
No,
They give the kill over to Fujimoto. Okay, APC Leona, let's go, baby. This is the start of it. Oh my god. That being said, though, tier 1 in this mid lane is going to fall as well. Blank gonna opt to go ahead and just clear out Flawless's jungle, since Flawless was so nice to just leave it all up to him.
Oh, Yuhi. He
Oh,
walked into
Yui.
this.
Yep, Yui. Oh, so low. Almost walks back, but it doesn't matter because Blank is there to finish the job. Doing quite a bit of damage to Marble, but once again, just not quite enough. Rhina is always going to be there to give him those buffs, give him the heals. And when you're just kind of the lone soldier, there's not that much you can do, unfortunately.
Okay, Realm Warp tried to go for Dice. Dice actually TP's back out. Things are traded. Good for them there. And yeah, just a very unfortunate series of events for Burning Core. Well played from Hawks, right? Yes, they end up losing Kanatsu, but they traded that for a turret. Very, very much worth. And then they blurred everything from Yuhi. That's Flash, Heal, and Featherstorm all used in advance of this dragon. This critical soul point it would have been for Burning Core if they could contest it. But now you can't really contest it here. As I say that, though, Hawks are basing. Please don't base. Please take the dragon before you base. Thank you.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah, they're gonna go ahead and grab that drag real quick. Flawless opting to do a little bit of invading himself here. There we go. Yeah, okay. A little worried that they were actually gonna base before taking that, but the dreaded Baron is about to be spawned. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Hawks might have a big enough lead at this point that they can brute force the Baron, even if they screw up, maybe. And there is no Ziggs to help combo with Flawless. I'm saying, I mean, surely, no, I won't do it. I won't cast a curse them. My bigger question is, when is Burning Core going to actually do something and come online? The last 10 minutes, they've been severely on the back foot. Okay, well, that's something, I guess.
Yeah,
Ray Farkey can never really count him out. He's even using the cannon barrage. That is overdoing it again, my friend. Ray Farkey, chill, dude. Like, you force him back. You burnt the global.
You
now,
tell him to make something happen, and now you tell him to chill. Make up your mind, RMC, please.
Yeah, okay. Make something happen, but don't throw everything in the kitchen sink at it here. Now you don't have that for the Baron, and the Hawks are aware of that particular timer. They're strong enough as well. If they set up vision, they could look for a Baron here. And I know Namiro's a fan, but I do think the right setup is here now for the Hawks.
Yeah, if there was ever a game to do it, and this one might just be the game. 5K goal lead for them at the moment. They are up in kills, not quite up in drags, but that is not the end of the world for them, as they are going to go start stacking these Hextech drags if they can continue to secure them. But yeah, if they can really, realistically, I wouldn't even say they need to find a pick to force this Baron. They could just straight up do it and just force Burning Core to come to them.
The Burning Cure, yes. I mean, I don't know if the Burning Cure will be
more like Boring Core right now, because I want to see something happen, please. Like, come on. Oh no, I might have spoken a little too soon. That Fujimoto doesn't quite get that Zenith Blade. Was looking to send it, like to see that aggression, trying to find some kind of pick.
I just want to point out, if Cannon Barrage was available there, they could have engaged in that jungle area,
true.
but it wasn't. So unfortunately, Boring Core it continues to be. They are looking to be fair for things, and I don't know if they should be. Honestly, they're 5,500 going down. You do not want a team fight. You want to find picks. You want to find small skirmishes here. And every time the culling comes down, man, Yuhi's just forced to back.
Yeah, indeed. I had to pop that ultimate, and that's going to be absolutely huge, because now that means that Blank can so easily get on top of him. Look at that. He's already charging up, but give him a little bit of the fake out there, spooking him a little bit, and instead they're going to opt to go ahead and push this bot turret here. Fujimoto spotting them out, and needs to definitely be careful here. Not too much they can do at the moment. The Demolish proc is going to do a whole lot of damage, trying to rush this tier 2 down. Can they get it? They will indeed. The tidal wave coming out as well, and they're going to collapse on top of Fujimoto. Huge. Onslaught of Shadow is huge as well. However, the flash coming out, so nothing quite there. The Cannon Barrage not going to do it, but collateral damage. They find that first pick, and there we go. That might just be the start of something. Dice looking to run down Rhina here. Rhina going to have to go ahead and flat the flash coming up from Dice as well, trying to find something. Gravity Well getting dropped, forcing Dash to kind of run around it. The Realm Warp being dropped, but no, you cannot use that. Gotta keep running. And it's just a marathon at this point. Flawless and Dice looking to run them down. They're running as fast as they can, but however, they're just not fast enough. Blank, meanwhile, just kind of farming he's just farming the Krugs, because unlike the others, he's got speed on his side.
How are there not objective bounties right now for Burning Core? I love that, like you said, it's a marathon. They're running in, they're just preparing the minions.
Yep.
Dice.
Oh no,
2D.
Dice though, terrible spot.
like
Goes
this.
goal, Cullen coming out, but a nice little body block there from Flawless, and they somehow managed to even get the tier 2. This is what I mean. They're finding these strange openings that no human should find. There is no game I could ever play where we somehow come back from this. You lose Fujimoto early on, right? It's like, look, the turret goes down, the Everfrost connects, the Tidal Waves hit, everything is sent on them. They take him out, also out of shadow as well. Then the flash from Rayfark to get out of there, drops down the cannon barrage, and then boom, collateral damage just absolutely nukes away Kinatsu. And then they find it. They're like, okay, that's the opening we needed. We send it, we go for it, and they even get a tier 2.
And that was on a Mega Nair, not even a mini. Flawless did not have Mythic. He just picked up Eclipse. So when he executed Kinatsu there was only just the Umbral Glaive and I believe a Serrated Dirk, maybe a Longsword or 2 as well. And they managed to turn that. They did, however, still lose that inner turret. So that is still a bit of a rough loss to Burning Core. And I don't think they've quite hit the point yet where they should be winning team fights. I think that had more to do with just the way that fight broke out and the fact that Kinatsu took a little bit too much poke here. So HAWKS, it's critical timing for them. Dragons coming up in 3 seconds. We do see Dasher and Blank already there and stacking Hex Sack here. It's the most powerful Drake. If you get 4 of them, it's absolutely massive.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's looking like they might just be opted to not even grab it. Instead, just want to go ahead and push this mid lane. And dare I say, Burning Core is incredibly lucky because once again, Flawless was up in that top jungle, which I don't really understand. Like, you're grabbing the blue buff, but you're going to lose the Hextech Dragons. It's really not worth it. And I mean, I guess you could make the argument that odds are won't be able to contest on its own, but still, I mean, it would be nice to see some kind of proactivity, maybe set up and try and get some kind of a pick when you know that Blank is going to eventually come on over. But I just don't know if being in his jungle and taking his blue buff is really the move.
I mean, they're trying to set up for the ambush, right? They've cleared up all the vision right now. I do believe there might be a ward in the back of the pit. Can't quite tell from the mini map there. But if the HAWKS do have a ward in the back of the pit, that's actually really bad for Burning Core because then you can't effectively bait them in. They are pushing down mid though, and Rayfark, he has Collector completed now. Can they actually siege this up?
Yeah, that is the question. The TP coming from the back line and Blank looking to rush in as well. The Tidal Wave comes through, but not going to connect onto anyone. Kinatsu is there. Huge onslaught of shadows. A lot of damage coming out. The spite is kind of split, but Marble actually incredibly low. They're somehow winning this thing. They get one first pick on Rhina, and they're going to get the turret too. I don't think they know that Marbles is recalling there. Oh, if only they knew. But like, this should not have worked. The TP in the back lines. You had Blank coming in with the onslaught of shadows, and yet somehow they still find a way out of this. They might even find the kill on Blank here if he can't run fast enough. Okay, he will get out of there at the very least, but it's like they're making it. They're wizards. They're making it work somehow.
Yeah, and I did not actually see what happened in the main fight. I was watching Kinatsu's flank and watching Kinatsu not pop Mega in time. So this time, I got to be watching what happened in the front lines here because I think it probably had to be Rayfarky Barrels combined with that Chaos Storm here, guys. Yeah, it's that Chaos Storm. Look at it go here. Wow. Rayfarky's Barrel didn't hit all of them, so it's largely just that Chaos Storm cutting through all those squishies, and I did not think Dasher was going to be that squishy with the Fimble Winter, but here we are. Burning Core are holding on somehow, and as the game gets longer and longer, the scaling from this Victor, from this Xayah, from this Gangplank is getting scarier and scarier. Flawless,
but Flawless about to be a whole lot less scary when he's dead. And he uses the Blast Goal, actually gets over the wall, chains off of the Baron, and they're still gonna get it. Oh, that is so sad to see. Almost gets out of that one alive, but that is the jungler down, and now we're seeing instantly they're looking to take Baron. But we've said it before, stay the hell away from the Baron pit. The Tidal Wave coming out to buy as much time as they can. Gonna try and find something here. Can he make something happen? We do see the Solar Flare coming out. They're just trying to buy time. They're doing a lot of damage, but it might not matter. Kinatsu ignited. He's in the safe spot. He's gonna go down. No, okay. At least they don't get it, but they're getting so many kills. Ryder's getting so low. They're gonna try and finish him off, and they're gonna get Marble too. Stay the hell away from the Baron pit. You didn't learn your lesson, and you have paid the price. Just, we told you to not go to the Baron pit. It's cursed. They don't like you there, and you pay the price. You get aced. Was the Baron worth it? I don't think it was.
No, because ace! Echo, it's not just kills, it's a flat out ace. You got Baron, and you're instantly in the negatives as well. Nobody's gonna respawn with the Baron buff. And the thing too is that this earlier I called for a Baron, but not like this. Not now, not when you just saw how much a Chaos Storm does to you, and then you're gonna try and fight it when that Chaos Storm is up. Great, you killed Flawless. Great, there's no smite. But this Baron wasn't about the buff. It wasn't about taking Baron. It was about killing everyone else here. And Dice gets a little bit late to the party. I believe I actually ended up popping that Zonius really early by accident. But watch that Chaos Storm. The moment it comes down,
Yeah.
Kinatsu's out. Blank barely surviving as well. I was scared he was going to drop before he could even smite and then just clean up from there on out. And I hate to say this right now, Echo, but it's looking like Burning Core, they've come back. They've passed that tipping point, and their skilling is hitting like a truck now.
They find it once again. They find this opening, this damn Baron pit. Just incinerate it. Get it out of here, because something is going on there. Okay, all I can say is we told them. We told HAWKS during the game. We told HAWKS after the game. We told HAWKS during the analyst desk. Stay the hell away from this Baron pit. What did they do? They go, and then in this cast as well, I said Baron's about to be up. They go to the Baron pit and they lose. And now Burning Core has an opportunity once again. Look at the gold lead. They've caught up immensely. They're only about 1K behind now. They're only about they're only 2 kills behind. And so now so much damage is going to be coming out from Dice, Yuki, and Flawless, and Rage Farky too. It's like we're saying, the scaling is all coming around now. The circle is beginning to close. We've seen the same game loop the last 3 games in a row. Burning Core kind of screw up the early game, and then SHG gives them that opportunity in the Baron pit. Burning Core takes it, and now they're back in the game. And this Hextech Drake is live. And look at that. This time around, the HAWKS are the ones that aren't going to be able to go into this river and just establish early dominance.
Yeah, and without the vision right now, it's so terrifying for HAWKS to walk into anything. If they hit a barrel on the way in, Marble, Rhina are out. Realm Warp as well right now, just being used to scare them out. Black in the back.
Trying to find something in that backline. Won't quite get anything though. Kinatsu though going in with the ultimate. Ray Farky getting incredibly low. Trying to pop someone. Gets hit by the tidal wave. So incredibly low. He's just going to destroy Marble. Messed up the barrel, but it doesn't matter because Dice is there to finish the job for him. If you can't do it, I will. Fujimoto trying his best to flash in. It will connect. Huge. And they are going to maybe get this kill. Rhina solo running. Another Zenith Blade connect. Hits him with the 1-2. They don't even need this dragon. They're like, okay, thanks a lot. We'll be taking your tower. We'll be taking your inhibitor, and we'll be taking this game too if you don't come and stop us.
Surely they can't end on this, right? 20 seconds on Kinatsu and Marble. Dasher and Black are up. They still have the onslaught of Shadows. They're going to try for it, though.
They really are going in for that full set. Gonna go gold. If they actually manage to get this, Blank taken incredibly low. They get Blank. That's one huge player off the board. Ray Farky needs to be incredibly careful, though. Incredibly
5 seconds,
low.
Marble.
They get that first turret. Flawless. How is he alive? How does he get away with this? I refuse to believe this man is still alive. Gets away with that, and instead they're just gonna go ahead. He's even grabbing the red buff, bro. There is no respect in this man. He is just absolutely claimed jungle as his own. Gonna hop over this wall, grab themselves this dragon as well. And Burning Core are not only have they found themselves a window of opportunity, they kicked the whole they demolished the whole wall at this point, and they have found an opportunity of a lifetime to send them into the next playoff game.
Okay, so here's the interesting about this fight. It is a very split fight. Blank goes in and draws everybody out, and it actually creates a 4v2 situation where it's Ray Farky and Dice against the world, and they just beat the world. Like, Dice with that Zonias and Chaos Storm right now is a massive issue. The Chaos Storm is just chunking anybody who's trying to kill him, and while he's stasis up, it's buying time for Ray Farky to set up the barrels. You saw the moment Kinatsu came out of being golden, right away, the barrels came through to instantly kill him as well, and that is an issue for HAWKS. They're past their best spy date at this point, and I'm worried. How are you going to fight this? Marble and Rhina are not allowed to participate in fights, and Blank right here just zoned out 3 people. That is more than you could ask of any jungler right now. And Dasher and Kinatsu, they are just not the match of Ray Farkey and Dice.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Things are looking incredibly grim for the Hawks right now. Baron is up once again in 38 seconds. Please just resist the temptation. Do not do it. Do not step foot anywhere near that pit, or things might end badly for you. Or if your name is Kinatsu, things will end badly for you. Regardless, just barely gonna get out of that one alive. How is this man still standing? Actually, never mind. We'll go down finally to the bird. The tidal wave coming out, though, that might actually be huge. They didn't clear the beach, but here is Yuhi, Ray Farkey and Yuhi against the world, and the world has been beaten once again. So much healing coming out, and he gets away. The minion shot will not finish him. This is ridiculous. There is no way he gets to walk away from it. They're gonna go end. It's all up to Reina. Reina, you have the sole dreams of your team on your back. You have to hold this base, and he can't do it. And ladies and gentlemen, Burning Core, 3 games, have found a way back in, and they are going to the next round of the playoffs where they'll face Rascal Jester for the first time in their history.
Echo, the faithful have been rewarded.
Yes,
Only
sir,
one
we
person
have been.
predicted a 3-1 for Burning Core. I mean, we believed, but we tempered our faith with a 3-2. Only Oak predicted a 3-1 Burning Core, and Burning Core delivered right here. And I gotta say, MVP of this series for Burning Core has got to be Baron.
You know what? Honestly, that's not even a joke at this. It's not even a joke at this point, because it's like we legitimately said it, right? We said it multiple times. It's not like we just kind of dabbled on it. We said it during the last game. We said it after the last game. We said it on the desk. We said it during this game. Stay away from the Baron Pit. It's bad mojo, bro. It's not good for you. They go to the Baron Pit, and everything that they did up to that point, they crumpled it up in a paper ball and swoosh, threw it in the paper bin. And it was all gone, and it just didn't matter anymore. And Burning Core found what they always seem to do. They found that little opening, and they ran with it.
Yeah, and for the SoftBank Hawks Gaming, this is an issue that has plagued them all split long. It was most evident in the early part of the split where they couldn't find a win, and that is that they are struggling to close out their games here. The communications aren't good. The early game for this game looked amazing. They had, what, a 5,000 gold lead at 20 minutes? Right before they went for that Baron here. And this team, Kinatsu, big carry top laner, Blank, a former world champion as well, Dasher, who's been consistently one of the best mids put on bad teams, and Marble Reina used to be one of the best supports back in 2020. Marble was the MVP of the academy scene last split as well, and yet they somehow just cannot come together. And for Burning Core, their mental does not shake. You can pressure them all you want, but they simply will not break. That game, they had no business coming back. And I said, I want to see Dice get his pop-off game. We've seen Ray Farkey pop off. We've seen Flawless pop off. We saw Yuhi and Fujimoto pop off. This time, Dice got to do it on that Victor, the big carry, the AD, the Analyst that said they wanted to see the Victor. This is why it single-handedly kept them through the mid-game. And then finally, Ray Farkey came online as well, and it was enough to tip the scales in their favor. So huge congrats to Burning Core for this win. They are up against Rascal Jesters, and I will say this much: I agree with the analyst, they cannot play this way against Rascal Jesters. Rascal Jesters does not screw up the Baron anywhere like the SoftBank Hawks did.
Yeah, that's very true. It is nice that we saw kind of this like full circle come around from the entirety of Burning Core, right? Yuhi played his part amazingly on the Xayah whenever he got the chance. Fujimoto always doing God's work there with those Zenith Blades and with the solar flares as well. Ray Farkey, I mean, GP, that's all I gotta say, right? Flawless. The steals were immaculate. And then this round as well, Dice on that Victor doing so much damage, and just those chaos storms slicing through everyone. Hell, he could just sit back and relax and just let the chaos storm do most of the work, and it worked out amazingly for them. But yeah, when it comes to Rascal Jester, they're not going to hand you any opportunities like that. So definitely got to tweak their early game, especially they slipping up a little bit here and there if they want to have a chance at them. But regardless, I think it's still a huge accomplishment for them. First time in their history that they're moving on to this stage. It's absolutely huge, and they definitely put on one hell of a show to get there.
Definitely. And because of the way they performed this series, while I still don't think Burning Core are ready to beat Rascal Jesters in the next round, I can potentially see them taking individual games off of Rascal Jesters, because Burning Core have shown that they're really good at punishing mistakes from the enemy team, especially come the mid to late game. And while Roscoe Jesters is sort of the quintessential late game team here in the LJL, Burning Core, I feel like, are starting to hit that state as well here, where they can just hold on longer and longer and longer, right? And then at the end game, at 30, 40 minutes, any mistake could spell the end of the game. It's no longer really up to you in terms of what the enemy team can get off the end of it. And another thing that I did like what Burning Core showed us today was a change in their play style and a bigger champion pool than what we've seen in the regular season. Ray Farky and Flawless already have massive champ pools. They continue to expand on that. Dice as well. Granted, the Twisted Fate wasn't amazing and I wasn't sold on it, but it was still a good pickup. And the Jace Flex is going to throw another wrench into the draft plan of Roscoe Jesters and the bot side. I have been most impressed with them. Fujimoto has been solid, but Yuhi really stepping up. The Zaya pick is looking good and showing that Ziggs as well in his back pocket is nice to know that they have answers to the current meta. Yuhi's able to show more of a presence this series. So I think Burning Core are looking the strongest they have all split. Will it be enough? Maybe not, but there's hope.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. There's hope. We'll have to wait and see. The sun it's a good, nice 9 a.m. in the morning. The sun has finally graced me, as you can see. It feels almost, gosh, I don't even know. Like, it's just climactic to say the least. And so with that being said, I'm pretty sure the desk is going to have to talk about this. So we'll throw it to just a short break, get the desk in here so that they can cool down a little bit and then talk about this game. But I think that's going to be us from the casters. So with that being said, I mean, RMC, it's a pleasure per usual. Thanks so much for joining me, man.
Likewise.
And, we're going to go ahead and sign out and leave you guys with the desk.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the desk. This isn't temporal. This is Mars One. I'm here. I know. I love you all as well. Burning Core. We're victorious, ladies and gentlemen. I can still hear music, so I'm just going to ask our producer to turn that off because music is not what I want to hear now. Nymera, your beautiful voice. That's what I want to hear right now.
Well, Lexi, the one thing I want to say is stay the away from it. Get away from Baron. I don't want to see you getting close to Silver players no better than Baron. It cannot be any easier. Discuss.
I don't know. Silver Elo for me sometimes, mate, is the same kind of quality of decision making as HAWKS there around the Baron here. But we do execute slightly better because we actually go over the back of the pit in some matches. We decide to go around it. All right, who's smug here? I need to know this. All right.
I'm going to take the lead here because can we get the predictions up real quick? I just want to make sure this is shown here just for everybody who's watching the
accurate
stream.
for me as well.
Hi, my name's Oak and I'm correct today. I'm not sure if we really thought the games would end up like this. I predicted 3-1, mostly because I had faith in Dyson Flawless, but I also thought we'd be seeing cleaner games overall here. I thought if Burning Core didn't get the first 3 games, then it would be pretty much doom. So I
feel obligated to say first time here.
And whilst Dyson Flawless definitely did perform well this series, it's kind of well in the crowd of mess and entanglement that we saw. I don't know if it's well overall, just specifically within this series, right?
Yeah, yeah. I just want to say quick shout out to the entire Hawks team for getting MVP on the series.
No,
without you. Could not have done without you.
That's not the MVP, mate. The MVP was the 6th member of Burning Core, which was the Baron.
Man, Baron was getting his payday today because
no Boris, it was all Baron.
Yeah, it was all Baron handing out the L's left and right.
It's rare that we see an entire series of Baron throws.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
You get it every so often, but rarely do you see it in that concentrated amount.
Did it happen in the first game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no, it did. Yeah.
But I want to say Blank did actually smite the dragon, the Baron, in that fight there before they all died. So congrats to CHG for pulling that one out of my hat. Yeah, it was definitely a back and forth series, though. I think we were kind of sitting there the entire time going, "Oh, okay." So this fight ensues. We see back and forth kills. And we're going, okay, who's really taking the lead? Then these final fights really make the match of it. These the soul points and the Barons come in. Outside of that, though, I was thinking, especially from the early games from Hawks, as per usual, it's kind of they got a lead in 15 and kind of threw it all away.
I mean, that's.
I suppose it's kind of, I know it's kind of post game and, we get to wax lyrical and stuff, but again, kind of bringing it back out of the more funny stuff. I mean, these are 2 teams that were looking to go further than they'd ever done before. And as much as it was probably not in the way that Burning Core would have loved to see it happen, because it felt like it was potentially given to them a bit more than they would have taken it. Still, a massive congratulations to this org that has been around since 2017. Always tried to make it to the upper echelons. They'd done okay in regular seasons before the new format came in, but they'd never made it to playoffs. They make 1 playoffs in the modern iteration and they bomb out, and they've struggled to get there again. But this time, they found themselves a bit of a window of opportunity. It's a hard road ahead from here, but for the journey that they've already taken, a massive congratulations to Burning Core.
Yeah, and momentum is a real thing. Winning 1 of these now could mean maybe win 2, win 3 in summer. Like, this is the perfect place to get it, and this is where the roster wants to be. Mental game, fortified, feel strong about the future. However, we do need to do it. I want to come over to you, Crow. The ways in which Burning Core won these games, though, should I be worried about the next series for them?
Yeah, I would just like to take a go ahead and congratulations to Rascal Jester for getting it a 3-0 on their next series. No, I'm kidding.
Wow, he actually said it.
He said it.
It's definitely worrisome because you never want to be that team that relies on the other team throwing to get your victories. And Rascal Jester are definitely going to be a more tight-knit team than the Hawks were in this series. And like, we saw some good ideas from Burning Core that they could go back, watch the VODs, talk about, extrapolate on how they can make that work in a cleaner fashion. But they definitely need to tighten up on all aspects of the ship if they want to have a chance next week.
And Oak, what are some aspects of that ship you would like to see Burning Core tighten up? I'm feeling like it must be bot side. Like, he won't get 20 minutes where he can just farm on Ziggs and still be behind in a winning matchup. I have to imagine that's part of it.
It's kind of what all the mistakes they made in the early game amplified a little bit. See this projected against players like, especially post buff recap, a post buff. It's scary for Burning Core to deal with if they're going to go, hey, okay, well, you hear that game, kind of got away with laning phase. It was what, a 20 CS deficit on that Ziggs game specifically, where we're like, that's a bit questionable. This is going to be amplified a lot more against Soul and Secret, who some people, I mean, we all know them as a very tenured combo within the league. They are also very highly rated amongst all of us as probably the at least one of the bot lanes that really loves to hand check 2v2, and that can definitely be a point for Rascal just to take advantage. So yes, pointing towards bot lane is great, but I think in general, Rascal just or Burning Core need to tighten the ship. They need to make sure they're not bleeding so much within the early game, because the small leads that SoftBank HAWKS will find. Yeah.
And if I can hop in on this, I think a big thing is a large part of why Burning Core did so well today is that HAWKS were playing compositions that worked perfectly into theirs. They actually didn't have to be the aggressive team going forward a lot of the time. They were happy to just play out the fights as they came into them and play around disengaging fights. Rascal Jester are unlikely to give you that for an entire series. You might get 1 or 2 games of it if they play towards really heavy dive, but they've been playing a lot more of the longer range mid laners that you yourselves do through DICE. I think that what Burning Core need to show me in the next series is that they have a bit more versatility and a bit more ability to adapt when the first plan doesn't work out, because that stayed them through pretty okay in this whole series. I don't think that's going to happen nearly as easily against Rascal Jester.
And it won't. Sadly, though, the Hawks, while they've made playoffs once again, they're going to have to figure things out going into summer split. Commiserations out, but now with those two gone, Crest Gaming Act and Hawks fell in the first round. Rascal Jester and Burning Core were victorious. However, we've still got another match to happen to really find out who the winners and who the losers are, gentlemen. Detonation Focus Me will be facing off against Sengoku Gaming this Sunday. Check the LJL, check our Twitter, the LJL Twitter, or check the wiki to find out the time for you, because it's always changing, and even we on this broadcast aren't always sure. Gentlemen, what's gonna be the Hopium Copium move? I want to come over to you first, Oak. Who's winning? DFM.
Who's winning?
Sengoku, yeah. I want it quick and fast right here, right now. Rip it off.
It's a bit of a hard belt. I think I'm gonna have to go with Sengoku. I have the faith in the team. Jet has been a stand-up player in this league so far, and I think 5 games. I think Sengoku are gonna be able to take it. I see some eyes.
Crow.
I see some eyes.
Beautiful Crow, who are you going with? DFM or Sengoku?
You know, I love rooting for underdog teams, and I do love a good scrap. But unfortunately, in this case, DFM all the way. It's just you can wish it all you want, you can run for it, but at the end of the day, DFM inevitable.
Check PayPal.
Dread it. Run from it. Still, Detonation Focus Me arrives. I'm also going to vote for them. I think it's going to be 3-1. I think it's going to be 3-1. I think that DFM have occasionally shown that organizational overconfidence, which we've seen in multiple iterations of this roster, where regardless of who they have on the roster, occasionally they'll just be like, we can just outplay it. And sometimes they can't, because they picked a comp and they're trying to team fight with a split pushing comp, and they're trying to team fight with a skirmishing comp, and they just get run through. I think there's going to be one game of that, and I think Sengoku are the caliber of team which can punish that. I don't think they can do that more than once, and I don't think they can do that when DFM have themselves a comp which they're comfortably playing out. So I think it's 3-1 DFM.
All right, Oak, go on.
You guys remember, first of all, I would like to remind you guys of today. And then also, do you guys remember last time DFM played in a Juggernaut match in 2021
Yeah, they
summer?
lost, and then they win.
They lost. Okay, but they lost, and we're not predicting the winners of the split.
You missed the important part that Nymera said. DFM almost always do stupid things in Juggernaut. They do.
This is true. This is true.
I remember Nymera going...
Wait, have they actually won a Juggernaut match?
Yeah.
Have they won a Juggernaut match? They
Spring
lost
2021.
They lost that to Sengoku. Spring 2020 they lost that. They weren't in Juggernaut Summer 2020. Spring 2021 they won.
Right?
Okay, they've won one. They've won one. Congratulations, you've won one.
I mean, also, DFM just do wild things in Juggernaut matches and then win out the rest. Also, we had the powerhouse of V3 Esports in summer 2020. So, I mean, there was justification in 2020. 2021, DFM were the best team, and they also were doing crazy things. Thank you, Kazu, remember. So, I mean, hey, Oak, you're actually mad. DFM are going to win 3-1. They will lose a game, because they always do. But I'm going to... 3-0 Sengoku from Reed, our producer.
And Temporal says 3-1. Oh, no, don't worry.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of this broadcast. I want to thank everybody that has helped out. Thank you over to our two casters of Random Minion Caster or Random M Caster, depending on Twitter or Twitch or whatever platform he is
Known
on.
to his friends and close associates as RMC.
Yeah.
RMC, absolutely. Thank you also over to Echo KO. You guys did fantastic job. Really pleased with that. Temporal had to run out last moment. That's why I'm here. Thank you over to Caster O, Beautiful Crow, and my constant co-founder. And man, I always talk about LJL with Nightmare. Gentlemen, that's it. We're done. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back on Sunday with Sengoku Gaming facing off against Dead Nation Focus Me. 9 a.m. Multiple time zones, I imagine, but I don't know. Subscribe, follow. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Yeah, Nick.